Hello, Koptalkers. Welcome to the season review. I wanted to do this about a week ago, but obviously it wasn't possible. So here we are today. Hopefully, some of my fellow Koptalkers will add videos at a later date, hopefully in the next few days, or in the comments, post what they think about the season review. So let's begin. First off, player of the season. There's a few contenders for me. Allison, Van Dijk. Trent had a decent season, but I don't think I can call him player of the season. Salah with his goals, obviously, but again, too many average performances, I think, from him. I think it's between Allison and Van Dijk, and I'm going to give it to Verge because I think consistently he was probably our best player throughout the season. I just like how he's back to his best, really. He, the Carling Cup final, the Carabao Cup final, he was just immense. And he won that. He won that game for us, really. That great header, first of all, disallowed, the disallowed goal, which I think should have stood. And then, obviously, he scored again. So it was all good in the end. At that point, I think it was February, end of Feb, things were looking good. But, obviously, it didn't work out that way. But for me, Virgil van Dijk, player of the season, definitely. Game of the season. Ooh, this was tough. I went to a few good games last season. Fulham at home in the league 4-3. That was a great game. I mean, we scored absolute worldies in that. I mean, you had McAllister's goal, you had Trent's free kick. Just unbelievable goals we scored in that game. And in the end to win it was amazing. So that was a great game. The Chelsea game at home, 4-1, that was really good, a great performance. Probably the best. I'm almost going for that one. I like that one. That was a really good game. I think the Man City game at home, when we drew 1-1, that was a really good performance. I mean, I think Klopp said it as well. He said we've never dominated City the way we did in that game. They just couldn't deal with us, and we were robbed again with VAR. So, that was a really good game as well. If I have to pick one, it's tough. I think I'm going to go for the Chelsea game, even though the feeling of winning the Fulham game was more euphoric. It was like to win it the way we did. We were 3-2 down with like 5 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go, whatever it was, and to turn it around and win 4-3, unbelievable. I mean, Endo scoring then in that game and Trent getting the winner was just, it was brilliant. And it was great to be there as well. It was amazing. I think the Chelsea game was just a great performance. And we saw the emergence of Conor Bradley, who I'll talk about a bit later. Unbelievable game. Fantastic performance. Totally outclassed Chelsea. Totally outclassed them. So that's player of the season, Van Dijk. Game of the season, Chelsea 4-1 at Anfield. Best goal. This was tough. McAllister has a couple. The one against Fulham, and then the one against, I forget who it was. Was it Sheffield United? Yeah, it was one of them screamers when he was really playing well. McAllister had a purple patch in the season where he was just unbelievable. He was our best player. I think he won the club's player of the month a couple of times. You know, he was really on fire at one point in the season. Yeah, goal of the season. I'm trying to think of another goal. Nunes away at Burnley scored a really good goal. Amazing goal. Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I'm gonna give it to McAllister. The Fulham game, because that was just, what a shot that was. Unstoppable. Amazing goal. And please, guys, just get your comments in below and tell me what you think, you know, to all of this. I mean, you know, everyone's going to have their opinion, so everyone's valid, you know. So that's signing of the season. Now, I think, all right, so it's easy for us to focus on the midfield, really, because obviously there were the signings that we made that were notable, you know. So we signed Soboslai, who started really well but then faded. McAllister, who started slowly but then he was being played out of position, and he came on later on in the season, and I think he ran out of steam a little bit like the team did. Endo, I think Endo got a bad rap this year. I think he did nothing wrong. You know, he's probably not the most exciting signing we made, but sorry, I think value for money, he was amazing, and he didn't let us down. So yeah, for me, signing of the season, I would have to say McAllister. I would say McAllister, signing of the season. 35 million, World Cup winner, class player. Yeah, I think very, very good signing. Young player of the season. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So we had a couple of very good young players. I think Bobby Clark, when he came in, he did really well. Jayden Danns, I like him. He did really well. He showed a lot of promise in the brief glimpses we saw him. Then you've got Gerard Quansah, who was amazing for his age. I mean, he played a lot of games, which I don't think he expected to play, but he played them. So, and he did really well. Really well. Shows immense promise. He's very composed. He's good on the ball. He's strong. He's quick. I like him a lot. Very, very good. But for me, Connor Bradley. I mean, that kid was exceptional. Exceptional. I mean, what an introduction. What an introduction to Liverpool first team. I mean, he was... We all thought we were going to struggle without Trent, and then he turned up and we didn't struggle. And he's different to Trent. He's not Trent. He doesn't give you what Trent gives you, but he gives you a lot. He's really dynamic. He's got an eye for goal. And yeah, he was our best player for like 3 or 4 games in a row. I remember that around that time of the Chelsea game when he scored as well, a nice goal in that game. So yeah, for me, he's our young player of the season. What else did I want to cover? Yes. So who do I think is going to break into that first team properly next season and establish themselves as a first teamer? I think we've got 2. Like, I think Connor Bradley and Gerard Quansah, definitely, I think they're going to establish themselves this coming season. I think Jaden Dans as well. I think we're going to see more of him. I think he's gonna play a bigger role next season. But the player I'm thinking, and we've got such good academy players. There's a couple of really nice young wingers. That Neone, 16-year-old, he played. He had a game, I think, and he was on the bench a couple of times. He shows a lot of promise. But for me, I think it's a player that I thought would play last season but didn't because he got injured. And I think a player we're going to see next season is that Ben Doak. He's really highly rated at Liverpool, and I think we will see him next season. Yeah, and though that's my player who, I mean, look, Quansah, Bradley, they're going to be in the squad. They're in there already now. I think a player to break into that now from the academy, I think we're looking at Ben Doak. I think Jaden Dans as well will get some more games and establish himself a bit more, but I think it might be harder for him to get in than this Ben Doak guy. I think Ben Doak is the one we're looking at for next season. As a whole, the season, listen, we were in a position, I think, at the end of March, beginning of April, where it looked like it was going to be a special season. And the league, it was in our hands as well at that point, I think. We were on top, and it was, if we'd have won our games, then we'd have been there. And I think we just ran out of petrol in the end. I think, I don't know whether the announcement that Klopp made backfired in the end. I don't think it did, but I've heard this theory, mentioned, that Klopp shouldn't have said anything. But listen, I think he did it. He said what he said, and I think initially it did give us a lot of momentum, and it really made the players really put that extra effort in. I'm just so pleased that he won a trophy in his last season, albeit the least important trophy he could have won, right? But he won a trophy and he signed off with that. And I think that was brilliant, and I'm happy for him. And obviously we've said our stuff about Klopp, and I wish him well and his family well. And I hope, he's happy, and he gave everything to Liverpool. So, yeah, looking forward to the new season, the new manager coming in, which we'll talk about in another video. So that's my season review. If I'm giving Liverpool a mark, I'm going to give them a C+ for the season, because they won a trophy, they got back into the Champions League, and we were in a title race for a while until the last few games when it petered out. And so for me, C+. And there were some great moments. I mean, there were some low points as well. And for me, the lowest point was, well, whenever we lose is a low point, but losing to Palace and Everton, that wasn't good. That was not good at all. But I think where it all started to go wrong was I say that the Manchester United games as well last season were. I don't believe we should have lost any of those. I think we should have won all of those games. But we didn't end up beating Manchester United at all last season. Drew twice in the league and lost in the FA Cup to them. And yeah, I think that was the kind of beginning of the end. And Atalanta was shocking. I mean, Atalanta went on to win the trophy, but we threw that away at Anfield. It was shocking, terrible performance. And it was just disappointing the way it petered out. So hence my C+. But yeah, that Atalanta was a real low point because I was there. The Manchester United game, the home game, the 0-0, that was pretty much a low point as well. Very frustrating game. So yeah, there were some low points, but there were some high points too. And all in all, it was a decent season from where we were the season before, and having to change our whole midfield, I think we didn't do too badly in the end. So, looking forward to this season coming up, and optimistic. Let me know in the comments below what you all think. You agree, disagree, your favourite game, favourite player, best young player. Please put some comments in below, let me know. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next one.